Okay, so I pushed this video long enough, so let's get going. For the few people who know me will be aware that I have been quite ill for 4 months, and I haven't recovered 100%, but it's pretty damn close. Started working again last week or week and a half. So the only thing that's really stopping me now from making videos is exhaustion from work. So before we start, I'd like to go over my credentials for the challenges. I have been playing Passive Exile since Onslaught League, and I have 40 out of 40 completed since Essence League. Except Bestiary, because that was a shit league and I just couldn't be bothered. So before that I only went for the highest rewards, like 36 out of 40 or 32 out of 30 out of 32, like the numbers have varied over the years. And more apologies. This video is going to be really long and probably a bitch to edit, so I'm not really looking forward to that. And just like last time, I'll be going over all of the challenges one by one. So here we go. Complete Vaal side areas. Pretty easy. You just run 3 corrupted zones, and if you never found any corrupted zones while leveling, you can just use a random sacrifice fragment in your map device, and that will work. Complete Synthesise quests. Shattered Past means we need to get access to the memory nexus. Into the nexus, we just have to place one of these and then activate it and run it. Figments Reforge, we need to use the synthesizer. We need 3 synthesized items of the same base, then hit the thing, and voila. As I like to call it, the disappointment machine. Complete these quests: Dirty Job, Through Sacred Ground, Fallen from Grace, Fastest Fortuna, No Love for Old Ghosts. You will find a Dirty Job in the Fetid Pool in Act 1 over here. You will find Sacred Ground in Crypts Level 2 down here. Fallen from Grace you'll find in the Twilight Strand in Part 2 Act 6 over here. Fastest Fortuna in Part 2 Act 9 you'll find in the Foothills here. You need to kill Boulderback. And No Love for Old Ghosts you will find in Part 2 Act 10 in Ossuary over here. Defeat these act bosses. I don't really feel I need to explain this, because if you need help with this, then this video is not for you. Craft mods, just craft literally whatever on each of these base types. Defeat synthesis monsters. You will find these in memory fragments, randomly in maps. I don't know if there was a bug early on in the league when I did this, because I was stuck at 7 for days and days, and then there was a patch, and then all of a sudden I found them. So these will all be very random. Defeat act bosses again, and once again, if you need help with finding these, this video is definitely not for you. Complete twinned maps. The easiest way to do this is to just transmute and alt spam until you hit twinned. Actually, even more easier is to just buy them. Just search for like twinned burial chambers, twinned canyon. Complete memories 1. Complete fragmented memories with the following number of bridges. So what you need to do is you need to enter a fragmented memory in a map or in a zone, and you're gonna have to run and touch stabilizers and stuff, and you just need to find bridges that has 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, and 1, 2, 3, 4. You need to find these types. Defeat Elder and Elder Guardians. The tier of which you do this does not matter at all. So what you need to do is you need to get this gray little thing here. That's Elder Influence. You need to spread that until you hit 20 influence maps, and once you hit 20, Elder would spawn with his guardians. You then do whichever guardian you want, and lastly Elder. Restore Cavas memory. I don't know exactly how or when you get this. It's random. I think it's like a tier So I think it's like based on a tier of maps. Like I got it once I hit tier 5 or tier 6. I'm told you need to do like the first Shaper influence map you get. That will have Elder or Shaper in it, and then the next map you do after that, you will get this quest. So basically, when you find a fragmented memory, like you always do in each and every single map, instead of finding stabilizers, you get an event where there's like waves and waves of monsters. Complete Shaper Stronghold, we need to complete 20 of them, and a Stronghold is something like looks like this, where you have this golden circle around the map. And you can even hover over it and say, where it will say, completing this map will yield additional powerful items, and that is a Stronghold. Now these are random. I don't know the specifics to force them to spawn, or if it's just like super random. Most of the time you will have 2 up at a time, sometimes 1, and for the most part when it comes to me, never. I do believe this one can be shared, so if you do someone else's Stronghold, the map owner has to be in the map though. It should count. Don't quote me on this, because I pretty much always only play solo, so I wouldn't know. Defeat Atziri. So this is just normal Atziri. So you just need a Sacrifice of Dusk, Noon, Midnight, and Dawn. Put it in your map device, where you have to kill Vaal Oversoul, the trio, and then lastly Atziri. Complete these encounters. 1. Defeat Dodri, the Defiler, while she is screaming. This is the Sepulture map. And once she does all 3 totems and does the AoE thing, where she is like, screaming, that's when she needs to die. Defeat Guardian of the Vault after defeating 4 animated guardians and not being hit by runic circles. So this is the Vault map. So what you need to do is you need to wait for the boss to burrow and disappear, and then the really giant ads will spawn, and you have to kill 4 of those. And not being hit by the golden circles that appears. And once you've done that, you can kill the boss. Defeat Stonebeak, Battlefowl, and Gnar, Eater of Carrion, within 5 seconds of each other. This is the Canyon map, so you need to kill both of the bosses within 5 seconds of each other. Defeat Fragment of Winter, while at least 10 summon volatile ice are alive. This is the Waterway boss, the really annoying one. Randomly, he is going to become invulnerable, and he's going to spawn tiny little ads. And 10 of these needs to be alive and active when you kill him. I'm not 100% sure exactly how it works with the ads, because I tried to kite them away, but when I did that, they just instantly died as soon as I got too far away from him. I don't know if there's like a range thing, and sometimes they never go away. So I would suggest rolling Twinned on this. This is going to get you more volatiles. I did it with 1 boss up. So what I did was I got him low. Do not use any damage over time skills like Bleed or Chaos. Make sure no damage over time, don't freeze him, and just keep your eyes open, count 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 10, and then you just slam like whatever Culling Strike ability you can have, like slap Culling Strike on one of your abilities, and hope for the best. That's how I got it. Complete Memories 2. So we just have to, basically we just have to do 100 maps. That's literally what it says, basically. Complete each of the following distant memories. A distant memory is a boss encounter in the Nexus. I do believe I have a boss somewhere. Here we go. So here is a boss, and if you hover over, it's going to say which boss it is. And this is the altered distant memory. So when you have a boss encounter, it's going to say either altered, augmented, rewritten, or twisted. Synthesize a unique item. So the way you use the disappointment machine is you have one unique item that is synthesized, and then 2 of the same base. It doesn't matter what they are. You just same base, 1 unique, synthesize, boom. We now have a synthesized unique item from the Disappointment Machine. Synthesized unique items can only drop from bosses. It's a Cortex or a random boss encounter. Synthesized items with the following conditions: 1, 2, and 3 implicits. So an implicit is the thing you see at the very top, like on these gloves for instance, increased spell damage. That's an implicit. All the garbage underneath it is an explicit. So the implicit here is Abyssal Socket, implicit here is the Cold Rest, implicit here is the Strength, implicit here is the spell damage. So to get one implicit, you basically just have to synthesize whatever. To get 2 implicits, you will need items with two implicits. Like this one has got 2, this one's got 2. This one has 2, not 3, because if you hold down Alt with Advanced Mod Descriptions, you will see that the energy shield and life is a hybrid, and hybrid count as 1. So be very careful about that. And to get 3 implicits, you need 3 items with 3 implicits. I know I have somewhere. Here we go. So these are all 3. So that's 3 with a hybrid. So same base, 3 implicits, and that's how you'll get it the easiest. Now I am told, I can't confirm this, that you have a small chance of hitting 3 implicits with 2 implicits, but I just don't know how that works. Complete unidentified rare maps. So 10 random of these tiers. So first of all, make sure you have a build that can handle every single map mod. And there are different ways of doing this. Either you can just buy them, you just look for is identified no on PoE trade. You can check Zana, she sometimes sells unidentified rares, like here, like we got City Square unidentified and Grotto unidentified, that's 2 tiers. You can Vaal your maps, you have a chance of getting it unidentified if you Vaal it. Or you can do the 3 of the same map. If we do Necropolis here, for instance, then I am going to alch all of them. So all of these are now rare, and when I vendor them to upgrade, it is going to give me +1 tier unidentified rare back. Achieve Ascension. Do all 4 labs: Normal, Cruel, Merc, and Uber. Complete Memories 3. These are the zones or the tile sets within the fragmented memories. I don't know if they actually follow some sort of tile set depending on what zone you are in, or if it's 100% random. It seems 100% random, and I'm not gonna lie, I was stuck at 44 forever. I needed river crossing, and it never spawns. River crossing is the tile set that looks like, oh god, where is it? It's in part 2 somewhere. Yeah, the causeway. That looks like the causeway. It took me forever to find it, and once I finally found it, I touched 1 pixel of blue and got kicked out and didn't get it, and then it took me like 2 more days for it to spawn again. So this one is annoying, but it appears it is 100% random. I don't think it follows any tile sets. Complete these encounters too. We need to do 40 breaches, 40 abysses, 200 prophecies. We need to release an essence of hysteria, insanity, horror, or delirium. I wouldn't really bother spending currency on breaches or abysses. They are super common, and what I have noticed is you don't actually have to complete breaches and abysses. You just have to walk over and start an abyss and it's gonna count. I don't know if it's a bug, but that's how it works. 200 prophecies, spam coins. Try to get the like stuff like lasting impression, where you just go and read something, like the quick ones. 200 prophecies isn't actually that bad. It really isn't that bad in my opinion. To release an essence of hysteria, insanity, horror, or delirium, we need to use a remnant of corruption on either scorn, envy, misery, or dread. Connect memories to rewards. So this one's pretty easy. I just haven't actually played a whole lot. I've been chasing mostly bosses rather than the other stuff like these with memory modifiers and stuff. You will find random stuff like this, memory containers. What do we have? Do I only have? Yeah, here we got like prophecy, for instance. So you just have to make your way over there. I think you only have to connect them. I don't think you actually have to like get to the chest. I'm pretty sure you just have to connect it. But they do appear to be bugged, some of these. Fractured item chests, for instance, because I've had 2 fractured item chests which didn't give me the completions. Twice in a row it happened. Defeat the Syndicate Mastermind. We need to do a safe house in transportation, fortification, research, intervention. And once we get to 100% on the thing, we have to kill the Mastermind. So the safe house we have to do is obviously here. If you're brand new to Betrayal, you will have some Betrayal events randomly, and you will have some dailies sometimes. Why can I not access my Atlas? And a Betrayal daily looks like this, with the yellow wings. And you will get ganked by stuff, and it's going to give you options to interrogate or lock them in or whatever, but rank them up. But when you get intelligence, it's going to fill this bar, and once this bar hits 100%, you have the option to do a safe house. And once you do the safe house, you get the completion here in the thing. I just have to say, I'm so fucking amazing at making these kinds of videos. I just want to shoot myself. Complete memories affected by memory modifiers. So you will find things like this, events like this. This one contains a memory modifier. Others contain, that's another memory modifier. Others contain bosses, others contain like bonuses, like synthesized items and stuff like that. So you want to chase these, and once you get to the checkpoint, you get to click a thing, and then you place the thing wherever you want, and you then have to run that zone affected by it, and you have to get very lucky to get exactly what you need from this list. Complete memory amplifiers. So an amplifier are these yellow square things you see here randomly. So you need to build a bridge. Do I have anything I can actually put there? I don't. Yeah, okay, here. So now I place the thing here on the bridge. So now I just have to like run this zone to get a +1. Create a sequence of bridge memories of the following lengths. So, I mean, it's pretty self-explanatory. We need to build 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And once we get to the end, we get the count. The thing is, you can't, like you can see here, these are all decaying. So let's say I have my last one over here. Like, let's say I have these 4s from the beginning, and then I set my 5 over here. So the 5 is brand new, these are all decaying, so I run up to the 5 to activate it, and while I do that, all these 4 behind me are going to decay, which means you don't get the challenge. So these have to be actually connected. They have to be actually connected to the Nexus. So 5 was pretty easy, 10 was not too hard. I got 15 and 20 at the same time. I'll show you a screenshot here of what I did. Before I do that, actually, so the 21, we need to have 2 memories placed on an amplifier. So we need to cross through 2 amplifiers, and then we need to have a distant memory, and it needs to end on like a boss encounter or a memory modifier, or you know, whatever, like a distant memory thing here. Alright, so the thing about the Nexus is you can only build 10 at a time, so you can't make the 20 chain straight away. So what I did was, this was also just an experiment. I wasn't even sure if it was gonna work. So we have the Nexus here, and what I did was I started building here. and up there. So, like I said, these all have to be connected. They can't, like when you run them, they can't decay and disappear. Like if you run all the way over here and then all these three behind me disappear, I lose the chain. So what I did was I more or less tried to build like 10, like you can see in this green line here. So I built the 10, I ran and activated them, and then from the side, we'll just swap colors, something red, and then from the side here, I built into it, like you can see here, like I built into it here. Oh Jesus, this is awful. so I built into it like this, so I could place the new ones here, like a new batch of 10s. And then from this side, I ran and activated them, because if I run from the green side and activate them, all the things behind me are going to decay. Is it just me, or am I like over explaining this bullshit? Anyway, let's do that thing again. I forgot where the fuck I was. Let's just do this. Let's do the TLDR bullshit again. So I started building down. That's green. I placed them and I ran them, so I activated them. If they're gray, they're not activated, they have to be gray. And then to avoid having to run it all again to replace them, I started building from the other side, like you can see the red here. So I placed the new ones and then I ran from the red, so I could activate this, and this without decaying anything on the green. So if we take a look at the end result of my chain, so you can see here's the end result of my chain. So we got the nexus here in green. Like I mentioned, this is where I built the green, and then I came in from here from the red to activate the rest. I was forced at one point though to replace, I think, some on the green, because you know I wasn't really sure what I was doing. I was winging it, but so what I got here is I need like what's a good color, like blue. So we got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and 10. I am not counting this guy here because I don't think it counts. I don't know if it counts because yeah, it's just weird. The game is weird. 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, and then 20. I ran to the boss. Now, when I did, I think I tried for the 10. When I tried for the 10, what I did was, I'm running out of colors. Let's go yellow. What I did was, let's do this as an example. Like I built here, and I built here, and then I connected these two. But for some reason, connecting two sides of the nexus didn't actually count. So I was worried that this part over here would not count, but apparently it did, because that's where my amplifiers were. So I was worried it wouldn't count down here, but it did. So it has to be connected from one side. This is how I did it, at least, and I don't know why this challenge part of the video is like half of the video. I'm sorry, but this is what I did, at least, to get the chain, the 20. Complete these encounters 3. Defeat the Shaper without detonating any anomalies. So an anomaly is the gray floating black ball. Gray, black, what? The floating ball. You cannot pop it. As long as you have the damage, that's actually not a problem. The only problem is going to be the bullet health phase, because you don't really have anywhere to run, so that could be the difficult part, not to pop it. Defeat the vessels of the Vaal in Alluring Abyss within 5 seconds of each other. That is Uber Atziri, and that is the first boss, the double Vaal. You have to kill both of them within 5 seconds. Not from when you like initiate the fight, but I mean from the first one dies, you get it. So apparently I have Caesarean glasses on me, and I have to reshoot this segment because I read it as defeat the Syndicate Mastermind without allowing, which is probably why I failed it to begin with. Defeat the Syndicate Mastermind while allowing all volatile skeletons to rise and without detonating any in an area level of 80 or higher. So, a bunch of skulls are gonna spawn on the ground. And to make sure that no skeletons rises, you have to walk over them. So in this case, you have to avoid touching them altogether so that they can spawn. And once they spawn, you have to stay away from them. They can't touch you, because if they do, they're gonna explode, and challenge failed. Alright, hopefully I won't have to record any more new segments to replace. Kill a monster with 5 essences in an area level of 80 or higher. So this one is a little bit tricky. So what I've done thus far is I've been running Essence Zana mod on most of my maps. And what you need to do is you need to find an Essence monster with a 4 in it and then use a Remnant of Corruption. Remnant of Corruption have... how many outcomes does it have? 2? Yeah, I think the outcomes are 2. It will either add 1 essence, or it will upgrade 1 or many essences within it. So you need to find a 4, not a 3. A 3 will only upgrade to a 4. And finding 4 essences is insanely rare. You won't really, you don't need to put Essence on a mod on, but it's so damn rare, you're gonna want to increase your chances. Complete Distant Memories 2. So these are the 4 different boss fights. Basically, you can't take damage from any of the adds that spawn in any of the fights. So I went really try hard on one of these. I believe it was the Altered Distant Memories. And like, I was so fucking pumped on adrenaline. I got this, fucking got it. Why didn't I get my challenge? And I didn't read the fine print because my distant memory was 72 and they need to be 75. I hate this game. So my tip is have a 50 billion Shaper DPS build, because the ad seems to spawn on a timer. I managed to get these 2 just simply because I had enough damage for them. But one very helpful tip I can give is Frost Wall, because Frost Wall will block the projectiles the ads are throwing at you. So we can see here on the distant memory I attempted earlier. I try to pull him down to a corner, and then I just lock him and myself in with Frost Wall, and it worked amazingly, except for 2 things. One, I didn't have Energy Shield Leech gem on, so I died. And second of all, I stood on stupid, so I degened. But anyway, you get the idea what you can do on these bosses. Reach level 90. I don't think I need to talk about that one. Identify fractured items. Pick up synthesized items. Identify them. I think you need like literally 1,000. Because even if you get 2 implicits, it's not going to give you 2, it's just going to give you 1. Even though it says identify the total of fractured modifiers. So, yeah. Complete the Cortex. So the Cortex is a random boss spawn, and the lowest zone that can spawn is 80. So, in order, I think the map you're doing, like the tier map I still haven't figured out how all of this works, but while you are running maps, modifiers and stuff randomly will spawn, and I think those will spawn based on the tier you're doing. So to spawn the Cortex, you need to do like an 80+ map. So far, I've basically only been doing like 10s and 11s, because that's how I like to build my map pool. I just screw around. So I've only had 1 Cortex fight spawn. And I went in completely blind, and Jesus, there was stuff. Complete maps with 8 mods. So to get this, first we need a red tier map, don't forget that. And then we need to use a Vaal orb on it, and by Vaaling it, we have a chance of getting 8 mods. Now be sure to have advanced mod descriptions on, and hold down Alt, and then we can count 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and 8. Because sometimes it's going to look like 8, but it's only like 6. So be sure to be careful. And again, be sure to have a build that can do the majority of the map mods. You will ideally want to have something that can do no regen, Fizz and Ellie Reflect. Is there something like... It's basically just those three, I guess. Complete unique maps. Just buy them. That's what I did. So the ones that haven't... So I haven't done hologram. Have I done an extra? I've done one extra. I don't know which one. Oh yeah, I think it's Machinarium. That one's expensive, so I skipped that one. Hologram Masters, you need the right build to do it, so I skipped that. Brandis Manor, don't want to spend the money. Victor Square is... It's not that bad. If you combine all of the Agnarods, all four of them, you get the map, and I think in general, I haven't actually checked the prices this week, but in general there's something like between 3 and 5 chaos per staff. So that one's not too bad. Complete these encounters 4. Complete the beachhead, either buy it or try your luck. So to make the beachhead, we need 1 Harbinger orb, and then we need a map, and then we pray and get lucky. Oh, I got a +1 instead. So with a Harbinger orb, you have a chance of getting a beachhead. Oh, you know what? I'm gonna do 3 more maps. Nope. 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 Never lucky. You can get Harbinger orbs from, I think, Delve. Be on the lookout for Zana missions with which contains Harbingers. You can get Harbinger orbs from safe houses. Don't ask me which master you need. You can get them from Strongholds too, I believe. Or is that only Horizon? Might only be Horizon, I don't know. Exchange Perandus coins with Kadira Perandus. So first of all, we don't need a single purchase of 5,000 and above. We can do several purchases for a total of 5,000. Now the problem is going to be finding Kadiro and the coins. In Perandus Manor, we have a chance, or maybe it's 100% now, to spawn Kadiro. Problem is, Perandus Manor is several exalts, so it's very expensive. It also drops a lot of coins in there. But if you move Janus, I'm not sure if you need tier 3 even, but you want Janus on research. So once you have Janus in a research safe house, it will drop you Perandus coins and it will spawn Perandus. Or is it only a chance to spawn Perandus? Either way, that's like how you, basically your only ways of getting Perandus and the coins. Nexus can have Perandus items dropping, Perandus coins dropping. So for the coins themselves, I suggest buying them. I think currently, I checked last night and think they were around 300 chaos for 5,000 coins. You're just gonna have to farm Betrayal. For those unaware of how to move the Syndicate wherever you want to, I do not seem to have Perandus on my thing. But let's say I want Gravicious. Gravicious is on transportation right now, but let's say I want him on research. So what I do is, whenever I find him in events, I D-rank him all the way down to nothing. And then the next time when he spawns in an event, unranked, I have a higher chance of getting him where I want. Let's say I do a research and Gravicious shows up. Now I have a higher chance of moving him to research. So to control where you want them, do not rank them up on safe houses you do not want them. If you did so anyway, next time you find him, D-rank him all the way down to 0. Make sure everyone is on good terms with everyone. You want as many green strings as possible, because that means Leo here is friends with Hillock, and Leo is on intervention, but that also means since he's friendly with Hillock and Hillock is on research, if I do a research event, Leo has a chance of spawning on research, which also means if Leo is on ranked, I can move him. Defeat a bestiary boss. Oh, actually, let me move back to Perandus here. There are actually scarabs. There are Piranda scarabs you can buy for coins, but I don't know if you can actually spawn Pirandas that way. I think you are forced to find him in research. Anyway, Bestiary boss. These are insanely rare. There are scarabs you can use to force bestiary monsters to spawn. You can do the dailies. It's this red one here with the horns. So if you don't have the recipe for any of the bosses to open a portal to the bestiary bosses, you're gonna have to like try and join another party. I'm sure there are people in A20 sharing this, but if you have the recipe from previous leagues, but you haven't found the things, buy the orbs. Like Kraken was only like 7 chaos. It's like 7 and 10 chaos. Defeat Vaal Omnitech in an area of level 75 or higher. We need to do temples tier 8, and tier 8 maps and above to make sure we have a 75. And then we have to kill the thingamajig in the last room. Complete the Cortex II. Locate and complete the Cortex memory with the following conditions. Now, I have only done this fight once, and I went in completely blind. If you go into poelab.com, they have a list and some GIFs of all the abilities of the bosses. There are 5 phases and 2 bosses. The first one is the robot golem type thing, and the second one is I don't really know exactly who it is. He does some lightning. He does like some chaos stuff. I don't know. Third phase is an ad phase with portals. 4 we fight the golem again, and last we fight the guy I don't know again. But yeah, do check out all of the abilities that they do and the GIFs on poelab.com. So, the first, complete the Cortex boss encounter without being hit by the first construction of the Fractal Gargantuan or its skills. So, like I mentioned, I went in blind, and for some reason I completely forgot about all of the challenges and took a slam and failed immediately. The golem is not that bad. He's fairly slow as long as you don't get the stupid turbo mods. That the change to give them map mods was the most stupid thing ever. My tip is try to stay behind him at all times and you should be fine. He's sort of slow. It's very easy to see all of his attacks, so make sure to stand behind his backs at all times. That's my suggestion. I'm not 100% sure, but I do believe you can flame dash through like the twin laser he does, the spin laser. I think you can actually flame dash through that without taking damage. Complete the Cortex boss encounter without detonating any of the unstable energy that travels towards the Fractal Titan. This is phase 2. Well, not phase 2, but it's the second time you fight the robot golem. He's gonna do like a charge up thing, and a bunch of balls from outside the room are gonna come towards him. That will buff him or some sort. So you have to avoid those. Again, I went in completely blind. I had no idea what was going on. Complete the Cortex boss encounter while there are no more than 6 void pits or pylons active. This one is slightly confusing to me. But the pylons are pretty tough to miss. The way you activate and deactivate them, I believe, is to just walk over them. If you walk over them, they get a circle around them, and I do believe when they have the circle around them, they are activated. Void pits, I think, is the black shit on the ground. I think it's the black sort of vortex kind of looking thing, you know, like the vortex skill. You know, this looks similar to the Shaper balls when you pop them. I think that is a void pit. Complete the Cortex boss encounter without being hit by Synthesise Masterpieces multi-teleport projectiles. So this is the second boss. He will do a sort of mini bullet hell face, similar to Shaper. He will float up in the air. He will do that Maligaro type spike thing that's flying around. I'm not sure if you're allowed to get hit by those. As luck would have it, I avoided those, but there will be secondary projectiles. It's gonna be a bunch of balls spawning in a circle in the outer room, and they will then move into the middle. And you definitely have to avoid those, because when I charge one of those, I fail the challenge. Complete each of the following deadly encounters. Atziri in the Alluring Abyss. That is Uber Atziri. You would need 4 Mortal Pieces, Mortal Grief, Mortal Ignorance, Mortal Rage, Mortal Hope. And the way you get them is either by running normal Atziri, because she has a chance of dropping either one of these, or you turn in somebody's Vaal and hope you get all 4 that you need. Defeat a Del boss in an area of level 83 and above. And I found Autoli. And they still have not patched him. You can still off-screen him. You can still stand safely in a corner, just off-screen him. You can find, I'm not gonna include a video of that, but I have a video or 2 on my channel. I think it's either like Autoli, easiest boss of all time, or I can't believe this is still a thing. Anyway, you'll find it if you want to. We need to kill the Shaper, and we need to do Vaal Temple. An important note here is, first of all, how to get a Vaal Temple. You corrupt a tier 15, and then you hope it goes +1, and then you hope it goes +1 to Vaal Temple instead of a Guardian map. Also, if you do find Zana missions in tier 15s, you have or 16s, you have a chance of having Vaal Temple among Zana's list of choice. Complete the entire questline given by Zana. This is getting all of the Shaper's Orb, and then the final quest in the line is killing Uber Elder. Make sure you don't join anyone else's Uber Elder until you are on that exact quest. Synthesise Map Grind. Complete maps with a total of 75,000% item quantity from modifiers and additional sources such as sacrifice fragments. This does not include any quantity bonus from your items or party. So basically you just want to run 8 mod maps all day long because they have like an insane amount of quantity. I stashed my map I had. I have had tips that if you run City Square, just change City Square because the boss is right in the middle. It's a very small map. What some people have been doing, I don't know if I actually have, you want to run Olmec Sanctum because it has an insane amount of item quantity. And you do rotations of this. So you want to be at least 4 guys. One run their own corners, kill 1 corner boss each, and then you kill the main boss in the middle. So this takes like 30 seconds. So this is going to be a very, very quick way of getting there. Complete endgame grinds. Complete any 4 of these encounters the specified number of times. Reach level 100. I never go for this because I play on softcore, and personally level 100 only matters in hardcore, but that's just me. Reach depth level 600 in your Atziri mine. Over the course of the 3 months, I don't think it's too bad to just get the casual sulfite from maps to hit 600, but what you can do to speed it up is to buy sulfite scarabs. And you basically only want to run these on tier 16 maps to get the most out of it, because you get more sulfite the more quantity is on the map, and the higher tier the map you also get more. And the master you want is Chimera at Intervention to get the sulfite scarabs to drop in your safe house. Open chests at the end of the endgame labyrinth. That is Uber Lab. You need to open 500 chests. For this I have made my trusty Uber Lab runner that I've been making for same build for like 8 or 9 leagues now. I do have a build diary and a build guide for that build if you want to check that out. Capture beasts in maps. This is essentially the same challenge like last league. Last league we had to capture 100 red beasts. But you basically get, on average, you get like a minimum of 5 beasts per map, I think, that has a beast in them. So that one's not too bad. And if you want to speed it up, you have bestiary scarabs you can throw in. I am probably not going to stress this one. It's only been 1 month into the league. Complete your Syndicate safe house. To speed this up, I do believe that you can still do. You can farm this in oh god, the quarry in Act 9, because they're all like near the waypoint. So you just do like a few leap slam, find nothing, you make a new zone until you get it. You also don't want to. Actually, I don't know that. I was gonna say you don't want to rank them up, but the higher you rank them up, like say if you rank them up to 3. And then when you find them again and you put them in a prison, you're gonna get way more intelligence. So I don't really know what the best strategy is to get this the fastest way. The main issue here is, of course, that you need to complete your Syndicate safe house. You cannot share this. Complete distant memories which contain a boss encounter or fractured laboratory. I'm not sure what fractured laboratory is. I think that is the Cortex. This one doesn't seem that bad, because if all of your, if you have like 18 out of 19 distant memories, the last one is always going to be a boss. So if you only kill the boss and do none of the other, boss is gonna spawn left and right. This one can be shared though. You can do other people's bosses. So I don't think that one's gonna be too bad either. Yes, we did it. Now, if you feel I gave wrong information here and there, please point that out. If you have some tips and tricks you can add to the video, please let me know down in the comments, and I will pin some stuff, corrections and whatnot. If you like the video, please tell your friends. If you like metal or 80s synth music, do please check out my stream. I stream from time to time. I'm trying to focus on making as much videos as I can right now, so that's why I'm not streaming as much. Also, this video recording has been 1.5 hours long, so I am going to be completely dead after I've edited all of this. But yeah, thank you for watching. I hope I have been helpful. Please don't be too cruel on me in the comments, and I see you in the next video.